Hello, I'm Cal Wellborn, acarologist with the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services, Division of Plant Industry in Gainesville, Florida. Looking at this mite under low power, we see 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs of legs. And looking at the first couplet, we're looking at for lateral stigmata or stigmata in the gnathosomal region. We're going to go to a higher power. Probably going to go to 40. All right, we have leg 1, leg 2. This is leg 3 and leg 4 down here. So we're looking for possibly stigmata that are between leg 2, which would be up here, up the top, and leg 3 in this region. And while there's lots of CD, there's no indication of stigmata or paratremes. We'll check the other side. And this is 3 here, a little bit of leg 2 there. So this is the region we're looking at for lateral paratremes or stigmata. And there's nothing obvious here. Now we've moved to the gnathosomal region. And here, if there are stigmata and paratremes, they will be between the glycerate. This is one glyceral base. This is the other, so they'd be in this region. And right now we're focused on the upper side of the gnathosoma. This is the anterior end of the prodorsum. This is the dorsal side of the gnathosoma. And while there's a lot of folds and structures here, there's no obvious paratreme or stigmata. We know there's no lateral stigmata. We don't see anything in the gnathosomal region. So look at the other characters. Coxal fused to ventral body versus coxa being free movable segments. This is coxa 2. There's leg 2 here. This is the coxa. And you can see it's definitely not a movable segment. You can see it's fused to the ventral side of the idiosoma. There's several CD in the coxal region, but there's a little bit of an apodeme up here. But there's really no other structure, and this apodeme is internal. So there's no movable coxal segments. Prodorsal trichobothria, if we can see any prodorsal trichobothria. See some fungal hyphae here. These have nothing to do with the mite, they're just fungal hyphae. Not having a hard time here finding most of the prodorsum area. This is the prodorsum here. And this particular mite is what we call hypertrichous. It's got lots of extra CD. This is the prodorsal region. This is what's called the naso. And there are a pair of CD here, but to be perfectly clear as to whether there's trichobothria or not, we'd have to go to oil immersion to see. Because you can't really tell. They all appear to be normal CD. So let's try oil and see what we can see. Okay, we're under oil immersion now. We're looking at the naso here. And there's a pair of CD. These would be your VI CD. Even at oil immersion, can't say for sure they're trichobothria. Usually the VIs, if they're trichobothria, it's going to be VIs. Let's see if we can look in the other part of the prodorsum for anything that looks like a prodorsal trichobothria. I'm not seeing anything that looks like a Trichobothria. And in some groups, even though they may be Trichobothria, the bothrial base is very short and makes it very difficult to see unless you get a lateral view. So that's why I say Trichobothria present or not. Sometimes you can't tell. And on this particular specimen, we can't tell for sure. So we'll eliminate the Trichobothria. Let's see if we might be able to see the podocephalic canal if it's present. That's ventral. I'm not seeing a podocephalic canal. It's probably present. Now this structure here, that's internal. That's a tracheal trunk. There may very well be stigmata at the base of the clystory, but we can't see it in this specimen. But this is part of the internal tracheal system. This is not the podocephalic canal. It's an Acariformes. We're going to go down to couplet 3. We're going to continue at oil immersion. We're going to look at the clystra now. Okay, here is the clystra. This is the movable digit. This little structure with looks like a seat on the tip of it, that's the fixed digit. It's very reduced. So it's definitely not chelate. This is a clystral base, so it's definitely not chelate. Looking at the palps. Find them. Now here are the palps. This is the palp tarsus. Actually, this is probably the palp tibiotarsus. We have few segments. This is another segment on the palp. This is the rest of the palp. So it's a linear palp with some few segments. Let's go back to a lower magnification so you can actually see the palp better. Okay, we're back to 40x. Now this is a linear palp. Here's the palp tarsus, tibia, femur genu, trochanter. But you've got a nice linear palp here. Looking for rotella now. Here's your clysteral bases, your clystery up here, so it would be in this region of the gnathosome. What we can see here, here's some tracheal trunks, so the stigmata is in this region. I can't pick it out for sure, but there is a stigmata right in here between the clysteral bases. Probably right there. But I don't see any rotella. So this is a Trombitiformes, a prostigmata. We go to couplet 5, and it says adults with 3 or 4 pairs of legs versus 2 pairs of legs. And we already have seen it has 4 pairs of legs. So we move on to couplet 8. And here's where we might have a problem. It says prodorsal Trichobothria present or absent. This is a major character in the key. And as I recall, we could not say for sure that there were prodorsal Trichobothria. All right. We'll do it, and we'll look at it. This is 40x. We'll look at it right now, and then we'll go back to oil so you can actually see it in detail. But because this particular mite is hypertrichous, it's hard to find Trichobothria in the CD you're looking for. But in this view, we have one prodorsal Trichobothria, and there's the other one. Usually the seta coming out of the Trichobothria, if it isn't globose and obvious, it's very long and filiform, and it'll usually be longer than the surrounding CD or different morphology from the surrounding CD. So here's your prodorsal Trichobothria. These would be the SIs, the internal scapulars. One here, one there. I'm going to go back to oil so we can actually see it. Now we're on the surface of the prodorsum. Here's a seta, there's other seta here. We take this particular seta and follow it back, and we can see we're focusing down below the surface of the prodorsum. This is your bothroidal base right here. Let's look at the other one. So this seta here is long and filiform. Here's your bothroidal base. This is the surface. Here's a normal seta, normal seta around. You can see how this is below the surface of the prodorsum. It's in a pit or cup. So it does have prodorsal trichobothria. We go to couplet 10. I'm going to go back to 40X now. All right, we're back at 40X. We're looking at the palp tarsus, tibia, and in couplet 10, palp tibia with at least one claw-like seta, usually on the distal margin of the palp tibia. Palp tibia without a claw-like seta. Okay, oops. Here we have palp tarsus. This would be the palp tibia. And if we focus up and down, we see normal setae. There are no claw-like setae, no heavily sclerotized setae. These are just normal setae here. So at couplet 10, we're going with palp tibia without claw-like setae. Go to 12. And now we want to go to the legs to look for leg trichobothria. I'll go to a lower power to find my way around here. If there's going to be leg trichobothria, they'll usually be on the tarsus, but you have to check several legs to make sure. All right, this is tarsus leg 1. You can see lots of setal bases. Most of the setae have been broken off on this, but none of them are bothroidal bases. You can see on the pretarsus here we have pair of claws and a pad-like impodium. We have a structure here that is, although we can't see it very clearly here, these are solenidia in here. All right, I'm going to move to another leg. This is the tarsus leg 2. This would be the tibia here, tarsus leg 2. And again, lots of normal setae, nothing that looks like a trichobothria. And you can see here your paired claws and pad-like impodium. And again, we see some solenidia right in here. Now I'm going to go to leg 3. This is tarsus leg 3. This is the tibia. This is proximal end of tarsus leg 3. No trichobothria obvious here. And now we're down to the pretarsus. So now we're going to go to leg 4. Here's the proximal end of tarsus leg 4. This is tibia leg 4. And there's no obvious trichobothria here. And we're now down to the distal end of tarsus leg 4. You have your paired claws and pad-like impodium. So there are no leg trichobothria here. We move on to couplet 13. Tarsus leg 1, usually with at least one recumbent solenidia. Famulus and tarsus leg 1, often stellate shaped. Naso present or absent, versus solenidia and tarsus leg 1 erect, not recumbent. Famulus and naso absent. So we're going to move back to leg 1. We'll probably go back to oil. This is the distal end of tarsus leg 1. There's your pretarsus. And I mentioned before that these are solenidia here. Let's go to oil and look at them in more detail. This is what I was looking at and telling you there were solenidia here. They're kind of hard to see, but there's one base, there's another base, and there's a third base right there. What these are recumbent solenidia. They're laying parallel to the surface of the leg. They don't show up too well. And the reason why you see this area around here, they're in a trough. They're in a little trough. And they're laying parallel to the surface of the leg. If we look at the base here, the proximal end of this trough, where the first solnideian was, we see a structure right here. This is your famulus. If you look at it carefully, you can see there's multiple prongs on it. It's a little stellate-like famulus right there. Now we'll move to the other side, other leg 1, and see what it looks like over there. All right, we're on the left side of the left leg. This is tarsus, leg 1. Here's this trough where the recumbent solnidea are. And there's one base is right about there. Another base is right up in here. Can't really see there's the base right there. Can't really see the solnidea. But what you can see down here, right here, focus carefully up and down, you see the stellate famulus. The stellate famulus and the recumbent solnidea are characteristic of the superfamily Eupodoidea, which includes Penthaleidae, and several other families that show up on plants. They're not common, but they do show up on plants regularly. So in this key, it comes out to Eupodoidea, Penthaleidae. All right, this ends the keying to the family.